to a new edition of Humor Mill TV. Frank Holder here at the Ha Ha Cafe with the host of the brand new show on BET called The Experiment, Miss
Amberia Allen.
Amberia Allen. There you go. You guys wouldn't even have an understanding, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, the new host of BET's new show, it's the new late night talk show. It encompasses comedy and sketches and interviews and what's it feel like to get a new TV show on BET and everybody gets to see you just like that?
It's definitely exciting. It's definitely a new kind of forum to showcase a different kind of comedic voice. So that's exciting to me. And it's just a huge opportunity for me. So I'm really, really excited and really, really looking forward to what it's going to mean for me from here on out.
Well, I know your co-host is Mr. Mike P. I like calling Mr. Mike P. He's a comic. You are completely one way, and he's completely another way.
Yes.
How are your personalities meshing on the new show so far?
Well, I want everyone to watch so they can see, those two perspectives. But I think that's what makes the show interesting.
Right.
Is that you have these two divergent voices coming together. So you kind of get to approach these very interesting or uncanny issues in two different ways that are both funny and hopefully kind of reach different audiences because you have these two kind of different comedic voices converging on the same topic. So it's fun because you get the interplay between the two of us, which is just really like what the hell is going on, and then you get our commentary on super fun topics. So it's really great and it's super fun.
Well, how are you feeling now that the show was early on, it was in the afternoon, and now it moved to late night? How are you feeling because of the change now? Mike, it's going to open up the door to a brand new type of audience.
Absolutely.
It's obviously an older demographic.
Yes.
You're not in that 106 and Park neighborhood where you were at when the teens were watching you. So how are you feeling about that?
I love it. I love that it not only kind of opens up the range of topics that we can talk about and also expands the audience so we get more eyes on what we're doing. It's also interesting because now they got me in little dresses.
Okay.
So
I can imagine.
before, it was like jeans and t-shirts, and then I was on set and they were like, actually you're wearing this, and I was like, oh, where is it? And they're like, no, this is it. So that'll be good for some of the viewers watching, is that there has been a wardrobe change that I'm also adjusting to, but I think everybody's gonna like it.
Okay. I know they're gonna like it, but that's a whole nother story. Okay. I also know you're new to comedy.
Yes.
You were taking comedy classes. You probably still are. How's that working with your teacher and mentor, David Arnold, who everybody probably knows is a vet in the comedy game?
Yes.
He's a writer. He's a producer. He might even direct some stuff that I haven't known about. He hasn't told me about. I don't know about that. But I do know that he's a vet in the game. He's been around for a long time.
Yes.
And he's been teaching you. Explain to everybody out there the process of him teaching you to being able to get to where you are now, being able to find your comedic voice.
Yeah, I took David Arnold's The Art of Stand-Up Comedy maybe a year and some change ago, and that was my just kind of entry into stand-up. And I think, had it not been for the class, I would have never kind of ventured into this arena. So, it was great for me in that it was a nice introduction into the world of comedy. It also provided a great kind of learning environment for the work ethic that's involved in being a stand-up. He can't teach you to be funny. He says that all the time, but he can give you the tools needed to kind of dive into the world of stand-up and do that effectively. And I think that's a significant lesson to learn as a stand-up because it takes so much more than just being funny, right? So that was really important. And then beyond that, just kind of the networking, opportunities kind of afforded based on taking that class were invaluable to me. And just from that class and on, it's been a pretty fun ride for me thus far. So it's been great, and I would recommend the class to anyone who's interested in doing stand-up.
I know. Obviously, you took the class. Now you're on TV.
Yeah. David, get ready for some more enrollments in your class. I will take my cut of that check. But yeah, great class.
Okay, I gotta ask you.
Yes.
Was it what you expected though, before you started the class versus now?
Was what stand-up what I expected?
Everything. The whole encompassing of taking in entertainment, your stand-up, because what you don't know also, this young lady is very educated, college, all that. And I met her a while ago when she first was jumping into comedy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And now, looking back at it, I can ask you, was comedy what you expected after you taking the class, now you're on TV? I mean, all of that.
It's not what I expected. I expected to be, in class teaching, which I'm still doing, but, so this is just, it's like exponentially different from everything that I thought I'd be doing. And I think with stand-up, you kind of really never know. Every audience is a new audience, every experience is brand new, and I think that continues. As I've talked to people who've been vets in the game, that continues to be, a reality, is that every audience you face, every experience, you kind of catalog things, because you've been in them, but it's all new. So the spontaneity of stand-up, I think, is what makes it, always different than what you thought it was going to be. But that is what also makes it very exciting.
I can imagine. Okay, last question.
Yes.
There are people who are right neck and neck with you in the comedy game, right? What advice would you give to them as you move forward, as they move forward in their career?
Advice to people I'm competing with? Quit.
I didn't say the word competing,
No.
but you're in the same game with these guys. They're looking at you, and they're gonna come up to you and say, "Wow, how did you get that? How did that happen?" And so, what advice? They're gonna come up to you. So, what would you say to them? Because they're watching. What would you say to them?
I don't know. I felt always like a camaraderie with folks who I guess have come up, doing stand-up with me in my peer group, a really supportive group of girls. And I think that I've learned a lot from them, as opposed to me kind of having these teachable moments for other people. But I guess my advice would be to be original and be confident and stick to what is true to you, and that will pay off to a certain end. I don't know what that end will be, but it definitely will pay off if you're true to that voice. So that would be the advice that I would give to
And that was very low key, and I like the way you did that. Was nice. Okay. So everybody out there, how they can follow you and stay.
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at _Amberia. That's AMBERIA. I'll be performing in the Belly Room next Thursday at the Comedy Store, and as part of the Hey Ladies tour with Zainab Johnson and Hadia Robinson.
Wow.
Our next date is in Atlanta on May 13th. So you can follow any of us on Twitter to get more information about where we'll be next.
Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Another edition of Humor Real TV. Frank Holder, you heard her. Amberia Allen, BET at the Xperiment. Experiment. I always want to say experience, but at the Experiment, it is an experience. There you go.
Fun.
There you go.
You got it.
There he is. See you next time.
Bye, guys.